Oh, let's see. I got to about the word attitude as the secret ingredient, and I just gotta disagree for that on math.
Hi,
I mean, I
in
love
this
his work.
video, I want to
I,
talk
I
about
love his
the
math professors
unexpected
be like
ingredient that you
video.
need in order to
Funny,
get better
the
at
integral of an
math.
integral,
And it's
and you
not
get them on the
studying.
classroom for
Studying
it.
is not the
And
thing
it's like
that you'll
basically
probably
do what I
miss,
tell you,
because if you're
figure out what
watching
this is.
video,
Now
you
that's the
probably are
secret right
taking a
there.
math class. Maybe you're even a math
When
major.
you've got
You're-
all the
you're doing
aspects, it's
some
like, but you
studying,
don't.
you're
When he's
trying,
right about
you've probably
attitude in the
tried to do your
terms, it's like,
homework,
here's the
you've
stone mill.
tried to read math books.
It is
You've
math.
tried to go through your notes.
Here is the
and
your
it's
job,
still
your
difficult. You're
house.
still having
You
a
have
hard
to
time.
kind of
Well, in
conceptual
this video,
model
I want to talk about
any
something
form of the
that
function.
you
Now,
already
what's that mean? It
have,
means you're upside down.
and you
It means
just have to
Bernoulli
learn to
figured
use
this
it.
out about their house.
So what is it?
And
What
then he
is
made a
the
bunch of
missing
algorithms
ingredient?
for it.
Well,
And
it's
arbitrarily, you have
simply
no clue where they are.
attitude, right? If
And they
you
kind
have
of
the
gave
right
you this
attitude,
idea that this
things are
was
just gonna go
that it's a
better
loose
for you.
lit idea where you
know, I
need
remember years ago,
somebody
I
like
had
Bernoulli.
a
I love
random
Bernoulli's
job.
house.
I don't even remember
Pressured
what
water to
job
the
it
house,
was. I had to
vacuum
watch a
pressure of the
training
house,
video,
and the windstorm to
and
rip
in the
off the
video,
roof.
they had
Those
a
are pretty
character,
heavy duty
some
systems
guy
where they apply
who woke up in the
to a lot
morning,
of people,
drove to
big
work, and
bosses.
went to
Like,
work.
it's sensible,
And they
it's
had
a
two
hard
scenarios.
math problem.
Scenario one,
And it's like, what do you mean it's a
he
hard math
had
problem? It's like, well, there's a
negative
field over
attitude.
there. I
Someone
need
cuts
you
him
to
off in
grid that
traffic,
out.
he
I need you to
hops.
cut down all the trees.
Someone
I need
doesn't
you
give an
to
exact change at
level
the
the
store,
ground, and I need you to
he gets
Shangri-La
angry,
build that over there.
and on and on and on.
And that's
He
going to start
took
with scale
the
right here.
negative approach to every
It's like you're
single
gonna have
thing.
you just can't walk over there
In the
and
second
not do it.
video, he does
So
exactly the same
the
thing,
advantage with
but takes a
every
more
one of these
positive
is it
approach.
gives me
And at the end of the
plumbing,
day,
electricity,
he's happier, and
carpentry,
everyone around him is happier
masonry,
because he's a better person.
and that's
So
the book.
same
That's
thing
that
applies
attitude.
to
I have to
math.
get committed to
If you're
writing
taking a
one
math
about
class and you go to class,
masonry.
and it's the first
But
day of
obviously
class,
this is different
and
than
you sit down and you have a negative
hardscaping
attitude
and needing
right from the
coping for
beginning,
stone walls,
things
the
aren't gonna
strings,
go
the
way
sticks that you
want them
put
to,
into the
right? It's
ground.
always
But in a
better
way, that's the
to
step
have
of something
a
like the
really,
new
really
Mu
positive-
Ricci
it's
tensor.
very normal.
But you don't know that in
to
a three-phase
have
motor yet.
A negative attitude
You
towards math. It's very
have to
socially
agree with
acceptable.
the math teacher
A lot of
because,
times,
like
you
it
know,
would
I'll
be
hear
in my
conversations,
masonry
someone will say,
system,
"Oh, yeah,
you have to
I'm
know
really
what
not that good
those
at math,
numbers
you know,
correlate
it's
to.
really not
And
my
the problem
thing."
with
Then
math
someone
teachers
else will
across
say,
the
"Oh,
board,
yeah,
no offense,
I'm not good at either.
is
Math
that
just,
they
yeah,
don't really
whatever."
give you
And
the
it's socially acceptable.
Z.
So
They'll
people
give you
say it,
X.
which is
Here's
kinda
a
weird,
here's
you know,
anything.
because people
And
never
here's
say,
a
"Oh,
most
you know, I'm not
common
really that
Y
good
to
at
it.
reading,
But there's
you
a
know, I can't
spectrum of
really read
those
what it says on
things.
the sign."
Electromagnetism.
For some reason, that's very, very taboo, right?
And it's very
okay
hard
to be bad at math, but it's not okay
Get
to be
something
bad
to
at
eat
reading.
out of
So,
that.
you know, I really think
Most of the time you'll be fighting it or say fuck
you know,
it.
anyone
Throw it out the
can
window,
learn,
sit
you know,
on
basic
it,
math.
or eat it.
So if you're having a hard time
That's the
with
cookie
math,
on gamma
you know,
radiation
just
there.
keep that in mind. Maybe
So
you've
back to
heard
what
this,
it says.
but some people
It took
say
me a while to figure out.
attitude is
I was
everything.
going
Like, it
through
makes
videos and I was
such a huge
picking my
difference,
lock,
right? Having
listening
the
to
right
Andrew
mindset.
here
Even
about
when you're
the
just
Hugs
alone by
program or
yourself, you know, if you're
what
gonna
was
sit
it?
down and take, you know, a piece of paper
Ricci's
and a
calculus,
pencil, and you're
or
gonna start
what was
working
it?
on some math,
Ricci tensor calculus.
having the right
And I'm in here,
mindset
and he's going
is
new
huge. Try to
mu,
sit
new
down, tell yourself,
mu
okay, I'm
over the
gonna study
systems,
for
and
1 hour,
and it kind of caught
and I'm
that
just gonna do the
epiphany
best I
on me
can,
when I was
and
like,
after that,
ha,
I'm just gonna
click,
chill and go
crunch,
relax.
click,
You know,
crunch,
have
click,
that
crunch,
mentality, have
pop.
that positivity when you go into your
And so
studies.
I knew at that
It
point
makes
in
a
time I could
huge
take
difference.
that
I always
Ricci's
compare
tensor calculus
mathematics to
and I could say,
music.
hey, that applies
I
to
feel like
popping a lock.
I'm one of those people
But now I'm
who
going to have a
struggles
problem.
lot at
Popping the
music.
lock is more
I play and
important
sing
than
guitar,
Ricci's
and I've been
tensor.
playing, you know,
But
for a
not
very, very
everybody
long
needs
time,
to
for
pop a
several
lock,
years,
but
and I feel
everybody
like I
needs
can
to know
never
math.
become, you know, great
So I had
for
to
whatever
go back.
reason.
I had to say
like,
that
I'm not
that
talented enough. I
that
think
Ricci
a lot of
calculus
people feel
was
that way
more
about
important
math.
X
But if you think about it,
over
when
the
you pick
system.
up a musical
So
instrument,
I'm
no
not
matter
going
which
to be
one
in
it
here
is,
every
you're
pin
not gonna
trying
know
to
how
explain that to you.
The same
I'm going to
applies
tell
to,
you
any
Ricci
math
tensor
subject
to the
you pick
new
up.
mu
If you pick up
give
a
you
book on
G,
combinatorics
R,
and you try to do some counting
special
problems,
relativity.
you know, you're gonna have a hard
right?
time. It's
And it's
normal
going to be a hard
because
time.
it's new.
And
Just
so
like
I don't know if they
musical
do.
instrument.
That's where the problem comes
And
up.
just to
Here's
make
that
another analogy,
conversation to you in the
a lot of
introduction
times,
to
you know,
multivariable
people play
calculus.
specific instruments. You know, one person might
But
be
have you
really
ever
good at
seen
piano,
the introduction
but
to
they might not be very
multivariable
good at
calculus?
playing the guitar. The same is true true in math, right? You have very, very distinct subjects. And oftentimes,
and
when
it's
you learn
hard, and
something
that's
in
why
one
people don't
subject,
get that
it
heavy
carries
math.
over to another
On the
subject,
other
and it
end of
helps
that,
you,
there is a
learn
very,
more math. The same
very
applies in music.
dangerous
Learning how to
type
play
of set. I don't assume this guy to be it
will help
because he's a
you,
math
learn
teacher.
to play guitar,
He's
because
trying
there
to
are
just train
similarities.
students on
So,
anything. And I need
learning
any
math is
arbitrary
very,
set to do
very
it.
much like
Could
learning,
be
to
doing
play
this or
an
whatever
instrument.
course in mathematics
So try to
he's on
keep that
today
in
with
mind,
whatever
when you're
spectrum within the
frustrated,
class.
when you're trying to do
Because
math,
it's
and
still
your
the same
attitude
thing.
is going
It's still
down.
that lockpick
Try
in
to bring
Shangri-La
yourself up by
that you
reminding
had to
yourself
clear
that,
off the
it's a
territory
new thing,
for,
it's tough for
get
everyone,
the ropes
it's okay
out,
to struggle,
get the
it's
coping stones
completely
out,
normal.
set them off to the
People
side
spend
in terms of all the
hours
piles of
their
rock,
lives
because
studying
Ricci
math.
tensor.
I've spent
If I don't do
hours
that,
and
I'm not going to
hours
have
of
this
my
to
life
control. Click, click,
studying
click, click,
and trying
pop.
to understand
Here's the
concepts.
key.
I used to wake up in the middle
They
of
are
the night
different, but the
sometimes
same.
just to work
I
on
can
math
use
problem.
the
I'd go to
key,
bed,
or I can use
and then
Ricci's
I would wake up to
tensor
use the bathroom, and it would be
wrench
2 a.m.,
inside
and I
here
would
to
go over to the living room.
give me that
and I used to
hangman
have a
symbol that
desk, and
spells
all
it
I had
out.
was a
It's like
single
guess
desk in
the
my living room,
letters.
no other furniture,
Derivative
just a desk and
L,
one chair.
derivative T
And I would do my math
are
there at 2 in the
common
morning,
systems
and,
where
you know,
you'll see it.
did it
I
help?
need
I
him
don't
to
know,
understand
but,
this, not
you. Know,
you.
It's the struggle, right?
I
Everyone
need
goes through it.
him to
Guess
do
what I'm
this
trying to
because
say
then
is,
we're in
keep a
agreement
positive
toward into the
attitude.
impossible
So
chess
that
problem.
really is the most important
And
thing, because once,
what we know
once your
is
attitude goes
easier
down,
is the
you know,
classroom
it's like,
that's already fundamental.
you know,
They
you go
come
down
there
with it, you know,
without
you
a
go down
damn
that
clue,
dark,
none. So I'm going to benefit on that
negative
energy.
spiral of
I'm
negative
already
thoughts,
there.
like, I
I'm
can't
just
do
going to
this,
end one half
this
the
is too
class
hard,
to
I'm
kids'
just not good enough.
farms.
You know, that's
Now
not
that's the
helping
problem
you,
with the
right? It's
homework
definitely not
assignments.
helping you.
There
So
needs to be a
always
time
keep
when
in
they
mind,
at
it's
least
hard
can
for everyone to
quantify the
just
symbols
keep a positive
n
attitude. Try to
one
go
half.
into every new math class, into every new
N over
subject
one half,
with
right?
a positive
So
attitude.
you're going to
It's a
see that
huge
triangulation.
difference.
You're going to
Looking
see that
back
y
at
f
all the
over x
classes
a
I took
bunch.
throughout college, I
And
really think that's one of the things that
because there's
helped
so
me,
many
you know.
systems where I
Sure,
never
you know, I
know
overdid
who's
it.
coming
I
where
studied
with it,
a lot,
there's
probably
still a
more than
common
other
value
people.
of
So I think
inside
that
of there. It's
really
just
helped
more
me. That's why I
efficient
did, you know, pretty
to
good,
say,
because I
oh,
studied
this
so
is
much.
one of those
But I also
field
had a
theory.
really
This is
positive
about a
attitude. Go into
laser
every single
beam
class,
that's amplifying
super
its
gung-ho,
strength
like,
inside
alright,
here,
I'm gonna rock
and we're
this
not going to
class. And
touch
you know, in
anything
every
different
higher
until
level
you
math
guys
class,
know
they all start
all
with
the
best
parts
topic in the
inside
world.
here,
Well,
and then I'm
it's
gonna
set
allow you
theory,
to
so
change
by
it.
the time you're
And that's
done
about
taking,
halfway through
you
the
know,
course.
5 or
The
6
problem with
advanced
that,
math classes, you're like a
you
set
can run
theory
this
guru.
experiment a
And,
million
you know, the
times
trick
in
is to
infinite
apply
number of
this
sets
positive
and still
attitude
not hit it.
to every
But
aspect
terminal
of
velocity
your
gives
math
me
life.
A, derivative
So whether it
A,
be studying
derivative
on your
f,
own,
and that is
studying
derivative
with
lambda
friends,
over derivative t.
going to class,
And that's terminal
taking a
velocity.
test,
Gives
right?
me a
When you go to take
cyclotron
that
for the
test,
class. You come in,
walk there and
you
say,
bang around
"Yes, I'm
inside
going
here
to
for a
rock this
while,
test."
and then you
And even if
output
you're
an
not
enriched
prepared,
system,
you tell
or
yourself, okay,
a
there's a
potential
couple things I don't really know, and I hope they're not on
collision
there. I hope
that,
you're safe to not
but it
on
would be
there either. Good
mathematically
luck.
set to say that
But
is still
you have to
enriched
have
because
that
you
positive
understand
attitude.
it.
Makes
When I have an
such
F, or I
huge
have a
difference. It'll help you
student that
relax. It'll
emitted
definitely
an
help
F,
your test performance.
it
Maybe
gives
you've
me a
heard this,
value
but some
on
people say
prime systems
attitude
in a
is
matrix
everything.
M1
It
to
makes
M2
such a
Mn
huge difference, right? Having the right
that
mindset
allows me
even
to
when
then
you're just
option
alone
that
by
system.
yourself.
I
If you're
am
gonna
in
sit
neural
down
net
and take, you know,
this
a piece of
wrong
paper and
inside
a
here.
pencil,
Their heart rate
and you're gonna start
monitor
working
starts to
on
go
some
up.
math,
She's pretty. This starts to
having
go up
the
a
right
little bit.
mindset
Or
is
I would be
huge. You try to
thinking
sit down,
importance.
tell
Of course,
yourself,
there's
okay, I'm gonna study for
a
1
whole
hour,
bunch
and
of
I'm just gonna
different
do the
things
best
you
I
need to know
can,
about this
and
one.
after
But
that, I'm
off
just
the
gonna chill
hop
and go
on the
relax.
M1 for what
Have
most
that
of you need
mentality,
at the
have
target
that
range,
positivity when you go into your study sessions. It makes a huge
it's a little bit different.
difference.
I'm
I hope
not
this
talking to
video
him. This is
has
quantum
been
time.
helpful.
Remember, but
keep a positive
in the
attitude.
end of it,
Talk about.
we're just in an M2 phase of what this is. It could have happened at any time space, could have happened in any phase. We're both talking about a map, but we'll get to the same place. He's using math class, I'm using a lockpick in an M1, trying to get into Shangri-La over here to see the one stone Buddha monument build, or Muhammad, or anybody you'd like, really. And I know I'm a bit broken inside here, but see where that conversation takes you, would you? Catch you on the next one.